Your money worked while you slept.
Imagine checking your investment account one morning. Not because you deposited more money. Not because you worked overtime. But because your balance quietly grew while you were asleep. Sounds impossible. Actually, that's the moment many investors dream about. Because there's a point where your money slowly stops sitting still and starts doing the work for you. And here's the surprising part. It doesn't happen because you're rich. It happens because you understand one simple principle that most people ignore for years. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly when your money starts working for you and why most people quit just before they ever experience it. Have you ever worked an entire month, looked at your paycheck and wondered, is this really all there is? Bills come in. Groceries get more expensive. Gas costs more than last year. You finally save a little money. Then something unexpected happens and suddenly your savings disappear again. Honestly, that's where most people live. Working harder every year just to stay in the same place. And I spend way too much time thinking about money, investing, and why some people eventually reach financial freedom while others spend decades running on what feels like a financial treadmill. The interesting thing is, the people who eventually become wealthy usually don't work 10 times harder than everyone else. They simply reach a point where their money begins helping them. That sounds simple, maybe even cliché. But understanding exactly how that happens completely changes the way you look at investing. Because at first, money feels lazy. You invest a few $100s. Maybe it earns $5. Maybe 10. You wait months and hardly notice any difference. It's almost disappointing. You start wondering if investing is even worth it. Then something dangerous happens. You compare yourself to people online. Someone claims they made $50,000 trading. Someone else bought 3 rental properties before turning 30. Another person retired early. Meanwhile, you're excited because your portfolio earned $23 this month. It feels almost embarrassing. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Those tiny gains are actually teaching your portfolio how to grow. Think about planting a tree. The first few years, it barely changes. You water it, protect it, take care of it. From a distance, it almost looks exactly the same. But underground, the roots are spreading. That's exactly what investing feels like. Most of the important progress happens where you can't easily see it. And that's why so many people quit. Not because investing doesn't work. Because it works too slowly in the beginning. Imagine pushing a giant flywheel. The first push feels impossible. You push again. Almost nothing happens. Again. Still barely moving. Most people stop right there. But the people who keep pushing eventually reach a moment where the wheel starts spinning on its own. Your investments behave exactly the same way. At first, your monthly contributions matter more than your investment returns. Later, something fascinating happens. The returns become larger than your contributions. That's the moment your money starts working for you. And honestly, that moment feels different than buying a new car. It feels different than getting a raise. Because for the first time, you realize wealth doesn't depend only on your next paycheck anymore. It depends on assets you've already built. That's an incredibly peaceful feeling. Not exciting. Not flashy. Just peaceful. You stop obsessing over every market headline. You stop checking your portfolio every hour. Because you finally understand something simple. Time is now your biggest employee. Every day your investments have another chance to grow. Every month they may produce returns. Every year the effect becomes a little stronger. Little by little, your money develops momentum. And momentum changes everything. Imagine rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it barely grows. Then it becomes larger. Then larger still. Eventually it grows faster without you doing much at all. Compound growth works almost exactly like that. Most people never experience the exciting part because they give up while the snowball is still tiny. They expect instant success. But wealth almost never grows instantly. It grows quietly, slowly, patiently, and then, almost all at once. That's why experienced investors often say the first $100,000 feels incredibly difficult. The second 100,000 feels much easier. Not because saving became easier. Because your investments finally started carrying part of the weight. And once that happens, everything changes. And here's where everything becomes really interesting. Once your money starts working for you, something changes that has nothing to do with numbers. It changes the way you think. Before investing, every financial goal feels connected to one question. How many more hours do I have to work? Need a vacation. Work more. Need a new car. Work more. Need to save for retirement. Work more. Your time and your income are completely tied together. But then slowly, almost without noticing, another source of growth begins to appear. Your investments. One day you open your portfolio and realize it gained more this month than you personally invested. You didn't work extra hours. You didn't get a raise. Your money simply kept moving forward while you lived your life. That's an incredible realization. Because for the first time, you're no longer building wealth alone. Your investments become your silent partner. And honestly, that's the financial breakthrough most people never experience. Not because it's impossible, but because they stop investing too soon. They get impatient. They panic during market drops. Or they convince themselves that investing doesn't work. Meanwhile, the people who stay consistent keep allowing time to do the heavy lifting. Think about it this way. Imagine planting an apple tree. You wouldn't dig it up every weekend just to check if the roots are growing. You'd water it. Protect it. Give it time. Investing works exactly the same way. The less you interrupt the process, the more powerful it becomes. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Financial freedom rarely comes from one lucky investment, one viral business, or one perfect decision. It usually comes from hundreds of ordinary decisions repeated over many years. Saving consistently. Investing consistently. Staying patient consistently. Those habits don't feel exciting today, but they create extraordinary results tomorrow. So if your portfolio still feels small, if your progress feels painfully slow, don't assume you're failing. You might simply be in the stage where almost everyone gives up. Keep investing. Keep learning. Keep thinking long-term. Because one day you'll wake up, check your portfolio, and realize something incredible. Your money isn't just sitting there anymore. It's finally working for you. And when that day comes, you'll understand that the greatest investment you ever made wasn't just your money. It was your patience,